At her peak, Katy Perry had more #1 singles from one album than any artist since Michael Jackson. Today, she's nearly vanished from the charts. This isn't just about fading fame. We're diving into career-killing business moves, media betrayal, and one decision that may have ended everything. What do you think destroyed Katy Perry's momentum? Was it the music, the media, or something darker? The teenage dream era, an unrepeatable high. How do you follow 5 #1 singles from one album? You don't. Teenage Dream was lightning in a bottle, bubblegum pop perfection in a streaming world that was about to change everything. Her chart dominance became an impossible standard. Don't let your greatest success become your greatest trap. The public didn't expect a follow-up. They expected a miracle. Prism sold well, but something felt off. A move toward darker themes felt half-committed, and critics noticed. It was the sound of a pop star unsure of where to go next. Creative identity must evolve, or it dissolves. She was chasing growth without shedding her old skin, and it showed. With Witness, Katy Perry promised purposeful pop, but the message and the music didn't match. Tracks like Swish Swish felt petty, not powerful. Audiences craved truth, not rebrands. She tried to pivot, without anchoring it in anything real. A dramatic pixie cut symbolized reinvention, but it didn't land. Instead of empowerment, it became meme material. Image shifts must follow story, not desperation. It wasn't the haircut, it was the why behind it no one believed. Idolized to isolated, the American Idol backlash. Her return as a judge on American Idol put her back in front of millions, but not in the way she hoped. Controversial moments, awkward jokes, even accusations of bullying. Overexposure erodes mystique. She became famous again, for the wrong reasons. They looked like the perfect couple, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, Hollywood royalty. But in 2017, the fairy tale snapped. The breakup hit hard. Just as she was launching Witness, she was quietly falling apart. She later admitted, "I crashed. I had given so much away, and it literally broke me in half." Heartbreak can't be scheduled, and it never asks permission. They eventually reunited, but something had shifted. When your private pain becomes public, the damage echoes. Their eventual engagement and baby brought headlines, but it also shifted the spotlight. Personal fulfillment, yes, but public relevance? That's a different battle. While Gen Z worships chaotic authenticity on TikTok, Katy's brand of stylized pop started to feel manufactured. Old-school polish couldn't keep up with raw, memeable culture. Relevance isn't age, it's adaptation. And Katy never quite figured out the algorithm. In 2019, Katy's shoe line was pulled over designs resembling blackface. What was meant to be edgy turned into an ethical firestorm. Controversy kills momentum. Behind the scenes, her label began pulling back. Less promotion, fewer pushes, diminishing returns. When the machine moves on, you're left in silence. Industry support isn't loyalty, it's ROI. Her Las Vegas residency was a commercial win, but a cultural retreat. It felt less like reinvention, more like preservation. Residencies preserve fame, but rarely reinvent it. It was safety, not strategy. Her songs stopped going viral, not because they weren't catchy, but because they didn't spark conversation. No hooks for TikTok, no stories for headlines. In today's culture, silence is irrelevance. Her pop machine didn't break, it just became invisible. Unlike peers like Dua Lipa or Doja Cat, Katy stopped collaborating. No features, no remixes, no cross-generational lifelines. Music is community. Isolation is extinction. She lost the conversation. And the invite. The Katy Cats once ruled Twitter. Now they're ghosting. Her sporadic drops and lack of real interaction led to fandom fatigue. Your fans are your fuel or your fallout, and without them, even icons burn out. No playlist love, no front page features, no algorithmic boost, and in streaming, that's death. Visibility isn't earned, it's brokered, and the broker walked away. Ticket sales dipped quietly, but consistently. Smaller venues, fewer dates, postponed shows. If demand fades, so does perception. And perception fuels everything. Katy became a mother and admirably stepped back. But pop stardom isn't forgiving. Life matters, but fame doesn't wait. Fans moved on while she moved in silence. Once the darling of meme culture, she became the punchline. Old clips resurfaced. Mockery replaced nostalgia. Online legacy is fragile and brutally rewritten. Yesterday's icon, today's emoji. Her last singles barely made a ripple. No chart impact, no radio buzz. When nobody notices, it's already over. And for Katy, that might have been the final note. Pop music isn't just about hits anymore. It's about moments. And Katy's moments stopped making noise. While artists like Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish tapped into cultural currents, Katy felt out of sync. Staying relevant means evolving with the rules, not clinging to the playbook. She didn't fall behind, she stood still. Ironically, 2020 gave her a chance. The pandemic made authenticity and introspection go viral. Intimate tracks soared. Had Katy leaned into raw emotion, her motherhood, her vulnerability, she might have sparked a renaissance. Instead, she dropped an album that felt manufactured. In crisis, reinvention is currency. She passed. While Katy stuck to stadium pop formulas, the charts shifted toward niche, vulnerable storytellers. Artists like SZA, Lana Del Rey, and even indie acts began dominating through raw emotional intimacy. Mass appeal doesn't matter if it feels mass-produced. Pop music had moved on, but Katy hadn't read the memo. Once celebrated, she became easy bait for critics. Smile received lukewarm reviews, with many calling it overproduced and out of step. Critical perception doesn't define success, but it can bury momentum. When praise turns passive, audiences stop listening. Katy wasn't just fading, she was being replaced. Taylor Swift dominated with reinvention. Lady Gaga leaned into artistry. Ariana evolved into a streaming juggernaut. Pop isn't a vacuum, it's a ladder, and someone's always climbing. Katy wasn't just slipping, others were surging. Katy was once a Twitter powerhouse, but as TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts exploded, she lost her edge. Her posts felt polished, while younger artists thrived by being messy, spontaneous, and real. In a world of 6-second intimacy, filters don't connect. She didn't fall off social media. She failed to adapt to its soul. Reinvention isn't just a haircut or a hashtag. When Taylor Swift dropped folklore, she changed genres, rewrote her narrative, and brought fans into her emotional world. True reinvention starts inside, not in a marketing meeting. Katy's pivots felt external, style without soul. In an era when stars strip it all back, Katy had a rare chance. Tell her real story. A raw documentary, a motherhood memoir, an album rooted in honesty. Any of it could have worked. She had depth, pain, evolution, but she never brought it center stage. Sometimes survival is the story fans want most, but she stayed behind the curtain. Katy Perry will always have Teenage Dream. That era made history, shaped a generation, and carved her name into pop forever. But legacy is a living thing. It breathes, evolves, or fades, and right now, hers feels paused. She's not forgotten, just unclaimed. The door's not closed. We've seen comebacks we never expected. Keisha, Pink, and Miley Cyrus. If Katy were to go indie, strip it all back, write the album only she could write, it could change everything. People love a fall, but they live for a rise. And Katy Perry's still got one shot left. Katy Perry's collapse wasn't explosive. It was subtle, gradual, like a pop empire sinking one brick at a time. She went from world-dominating anthems to quiet cultural static. But her story isn't just about missteps. It's about the danger of ignoring change and the power of reclaiming control. Will she fade quietly into nostalgia or rise like a phoenix with something we never saw coming?